the, they just made the bundle. So if you go into your back office, you can get the bundle of the new Amped products, which are fantastic. I mean, if you come into our home and you open up our door, we've got all of the Isagenix products because, you know, we talk about it all the time. I'm just so deeply grateful for God's leading in leading me to Isagenix. Because this is our Sunday business call, and we talk about business on here, but we're all on here because we believe so deeply in these products. And so James and I, we talk all the time, and it really, like, I have such a deep, deep level of gratitude in my heart because of how set free I am in my body. And so for James and I, we say, like, there's nothing that I value more than our health, than my health. And so for me, it's like, if I can have, you know, a pre-workout from Isagenix or the repair and take the product B and have the vitamins, for me, it's just like, hey, it's a no-brainer. Like, I value my health that much. And so anyways, that's just something I wanted to share, but we're really excited about all of you being on the call tonight. It has just been an incredible week of so many amazing things. We had our progressive workshop for those that are in Knoxville and people that zoomed in, Ty and Joni, and we had several others that were zooming in from all over, zooming into that progressive workshop. We had people going to Charlotte, North Carolina for the Super Saturday. We had one of our very own, Renee Shriedman, got announced as the next Isagenix millionaire. And so we have 2 questions for you tonight, and we want to hear from you. So if you could get your chats out, we just ask that your responses to these are extremely true, honest, and real. The positives, and if there are negatives, we want to know because we're all in this together. Yeah, and you know, I think for anybody that's running a business, anybody that has, you know, constituents or anybody they're working with, some of the hardest thing, and you'll hear it from any business owner or anybody, honest feedback is one of the most valuable things ever, because it's so rare. And so many people are, you know, afraid to say, hey, this is what I actually think, either positively or negatively, or this is where I think it can be improved. And so with that, yeah, we are believing that all of us we're better as a sum than we are individually. And so with that, we have 2 questions, and we just loved your honest feedback. Yeah. So the first question is, we made the shift in Freedom Living Team to go from removing individual welcome posts to doing the pinned post and just welcoming people on there. So the first question that we have is number 1, what do you like that? It's just been 1 week. So, you know, just your first week, what are your thoughts on how we did that? Are you enjoying that? Have you seen great things from it? Do you wish that we actually went back to the welcome post? Okay. So
definitely more efficient. It feels more efficient. Your people are getting, people getting the information? They're seeing all the information on the pictures in that post. There's no confusion with that as far as the format goes. Okay.
Okay, that's awesome.
And if you want to give this some thought and type here in a little bit, saying, you know, regarding the welcome post and post in a little bit, comment in the chats in a little bit, that's okay.
Okay, awesome.
I love that, Ty. One of that travels a lot. Download the images to herself.
Okay. That's great. Okay. The next question that we have is, for those of you that tuned in or made it to the progressive workshop at Lane and Chelsea's house on Tuesday, what were your thoughts on that? I loved the feedback that we saw on Freedom Living Team Business, but really want to know what your thoughts are on that, because we're continuing to evolve and put more things in the works. So Kathy Waldrop, Derek, and Melissa tuned in on the Zoom. Okay. Awesome.
So would doing something like that again here in the future be beneficial? And if we made it, of course, virtual for anybody who was out of town, we could even change the time a little bit to make it available for more people in their schedules. But this would be something that would be of value to you guys. Okay. Wish the comp plan was written out and presented. Okay. And for that, we had a lot of feedback. And one of the things that I think we presented at the beginning, just in reference to that, we wanted that workshop to be highly activating, meaning, we can sit and we can learn these things time and time and time again, but it's when we put it into action that we really start to see, okay, this is where I actually need work. This is where I actually need help. And what I have found is that so many people in all realms of Isagenix and all different stories, all different teams, they become a consumer of just the information, and they keep waiting to put it into action. And it's when, here's what I want all of you guys to write down. You cannot steer a boat that is not moving. You cannot steer a ship that is not moving. So many people, they say, tell me about this. Tell me about this. How do I fix this? How do I fix that? Tell me how I tweak this. And I say, you're not doing anything yet. You've got to do something, and then we can work with it. Once you're in movement, then we can start making adjustments. Once you're writing out the comp plan, then we can say, hey, these are little tweaks that need to be adjusted. But until that point, we can't make any direction. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. And so those workshops, we want them to be highly activating in the sense that you leave feeling more empowered than you came to go share and ultimately present Isagenix in a concise way. So good. And Rhyme said it empowers us by giving us the space to do it. I love that feedback. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you all in the chats. We're reading these. Thank you so much.
Thank you for contributing. We're so awesome. And we want to continue to do more stuff. We've got some amazing things in the works. Finishing out 2019 and mapping out what 2020 is going to look like. Can you believe we are entering into October this week? So we had some amazing team members and leaders who went to Super Saturday in Charlotte, North Carolina with Herb and Patty Cepeda. For those of you who are brand new to our team, who are Herb and Patty Cepeda? Herb and Patty Cepeda are the people who introduced me to Isagenix. I became a nanny for them, and they're actually the top earners worldwide in all of Isagenix. They make, how much are they making a year now?
They're making, $65,000 to $70,000 a week.
A week, residually. So they're just amazing. So we had
who receives that? First off, who says I received that?
Yeah, I do receive that.
Who, when they said that, said I received that? Yeah, come on.
Okay, so I know Chelsea Taylor was there. I saw her just comment in the chats. And I know we've got all of you who were there. We asked for some of you to speak and share one or two of your nuggets. So Chelsea Taylor, can I kick you off and let you kind of share some of the things that you took away from it? And then we can, or I know James said you guys can volunteer, but you know how I can be. I'm like, hey, just go for it, girl.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, immediately, I was like, kick me off. Why are you kicking me off the call? That's where my head went.
Can I remove you from the call? Thanks. Can you please share?
Oh my God. Okay. I'm so sorry. But yes, I don't mind at all to share. Obviously, I could share with you so much that came. Sorry, my screen looks a little blurry. I don't know if you guys can see me. Okay, it looks blurry.
No, we see you
You're
perfectly.
Good. I could share with you guys so much. But one, as we all know, we can get in the room and I can't go sit down at a coffee shop and tell somebody exactly what I experienced or what we experienced, because it's just not the same as being in the room. So that's why events are so powerful, to get into the room. So, and we have a lot of really incredible people that are going to share some stuff too. So I'll just leave it in a couple of little nuggets. One of the main nuggets that I think that will bless people to hear is, we've heard it over and over again, especially if you've read a couple of books here, is successful people make decisions. Unsuccessful people can't make decisions. That's really, really powerful. And that just speaks into us building in our own personal development in life. But when you come into this, or whenever you're helping somebody get started with this and they're very, very wishy-washy on whether they're going to do this or what they're going to do with this, you want to help them understand that, hey, a yes or a no, making a decision to do this, and then stepping forward and making a decision to go forward in this. Okay, what's your why? What do you want to do in this? Make a decision to write it down and do it. For me, I'm going to talk just a couple of people really fast of who have been a part of Isagenix for a while. When I first got started in Isagenix, the very night that I heard about it, I made a decision right then and there without having to second guess. I was going to do this, and I did it because I knew it was a win-win. Then I made a decision that I was going to hit consultant. I made a decision that I was going to become a stay-at-home mom. But here's where it gets tricky. Then I got complacent. Because I hit my goal. That's all I ever wanted, was to be a stay-at-home mom. And although I wanted to help more people. Mentally, I gave myself a block because I had not made a decision that I was going to even go further in this. And so if you're somebody who can relate to that, that's been here and you've seen success and you have experienced hitting some goals and you've been excited about what you have done in the past or something that you have experienced, now is the perfect time, why not now, to make a new decision, fresh start, new ground level, to figure out what your new why is that's going to actually propel you into the next step or the next goals or the next season of your Isogenics business. So that would be one thing. And then I'll come back around. If there's more nuggets to share, I'll come back around after a couple other people get to share.
That's so good, Chels. Thank you so much for sharing. Lindsay, if you want to unmute your line, I know in the chats you said you've got some things you want to share as well. If you want to unmute you, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, am I on?
You are.
Hi, everybody. It was such an amazing event. I've never been to a CEPADA event before and didn't really know what to expect. And yesterday's training was amazing, but something about today, Patty doing a worship and just having people pray over our business was just so powerful. And Danielle Roback just really spoke to me today. Some of the things she was saying was just aligning yourself with the Lord, and just exchanging all those lies for truths. I know so many times I get in my head and I tell myself like, I'm not good enough for this, or just certain things like that. And it's like, those are just lies, and just turning that around and I can do this because we're all more than capable of doing this. And that just really stuck with me. Some of the things she said too, I wrote down, feed the fruit instead of the flesh. And align yourself with the Lord. And that spoke to me. So that was what I got out of today. But yesterday, with the business, one thing they said was just going into your organization and finding people that are connected on the same leg and connecting them to one another, and just like committing, like, okay, we're going to all enroll 5 people on our same side just to create that momentum. And I thought that was good because I have people in my organization that don't even realize that they're connected. So that's something that I'm going to do, is to go in my back office, find who's connected, connect them to one another so that they can run after goals together. So that was something that I took away from yesterday.
That is so amazing, Linz. And I know that, when Herb and Patty, when they share things and when you're in their presence, you just receive what they say and just do what they say. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you, James and I, we love to be around them because what they say, we say, okay, if you've had the success, you're further along, you have the results that we want, and they say something and you start acting on that, things change instantly. So guys, Lindsay just shared something that was so amazing. And one of your income producing activities, honestly, tonight when we get off this call or tomorrow, go into your back office and see who you can link up. See who you can connect with each other so that, they can link arms and grow relationship and friendship, because the more that you can build other people together and connect them with one another, the more synergy and energy is going to happen. And honestly, it'll take a lot of stress off of you just being the tell all, be all to everyone. And it allows you to leverage, because that's, if you were at the workshop, we talked a lot about leverage in this compensation plan, how the team, you can have leverage. So when you connect people together and you say, hey, you're on the same team, let's work together, get to know one another, and you make that initial connection, there becomes a lot of leverage that can take place in your organization. And that's where, massive growth and duplication can occur, because you're taking yourself out of the equation and allowing other people to run together. And it's just extremely powerful. So
thank you so much for sharing that, Lindsay. Glad you went to your first CEPADA. Very powerful, wasn't it?
It was so powerful.
Life-changing, life-changing.
Yes.
All right, Ty, let's hear from you. I know you have some exciting stuff and just some big takeaways. So I'll let you unmute your line there, and then you can just take it away.
Okay. So for me, it was also my first CEPADA event. I've heard that they're amazing. And so my first Super Saturday, and I loved it. I have some two takeaways as well, but also it was David's first event, and now he gets why I'm just all about the community and feel good about what we're doing. So Lindsay actually hit on what I was going to mention. It's just a little part of it where she's talking about reaching out to your team leg, because Herb mentioned that when they coach their leaders to build a business, especially early on, they tell them you need to be a team player, and this is what that means. And this is how they do it. They tell all their new people starting out, if they want to build a business, to build on their team leg, create excitement, momentum, build on that momentum. And this is what it looks like. They put their spouse on one side, and then bam. So someone mentioned that to me. I think it might have been Joni. And I was like, what? They're like, don't worry about making him your David consultant. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, I get it now. And so I'm excited about implementing this and reaching out to the downline, because there's people I don't know that I want to get to know. And I love creating a little bit of competition, fun competition, to let them know, hey, I've got a rock star coming in. You might want to bring some folks in.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing was being consistent. Just keep showing up. I mean, really, there were people who were coming up to me that I did not know, but they knew my name. And they said, you're just such an inspiration. I'm thinking, what? I don't know what you mean. And it was really encouraging to hear, just from showing up, how many people are watching you who you don't even know, who are encouraged by your story, who they may reach out to you because they have someone that they can't connect with, but because you showed up and shared your story, they know, okay, let's exchange numbers, because I've got someone that, if you're willing to connect, we can do 3-ways and things like that. So it all comes together, just full circle, being a team player, build momentum, because I've heard of a lot of people who've been with Isagenix for a while. They wish they built on that momentum, because it's hard to stop and then try to build it again. So it was really great. I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. You know what? And Ty, you said something that was, really, really powerful just then. You said, hey, I've got somebody who's coming into the system, bring a couple people in. So guys, one of my biggest tips, a pro tip for when you're following up with somebody, it is, people have the fear of missing out. People have, they don't want to be left behind. And so what I always do, because I'm constantly in communication with new people every single day who are enrolling. And what I do is when somebody's coming into the system, I follow back up with someone and I said, hey, I've got a big hitter who's coming into the organization. They want to build this business. They want to have amazing results on the nutrition. If you want to get in right now, you're going to benefit from everything that they do from this point forward. Guys, every time that I have done that, these people hop on just like that, because they want to be before the person who's coming in the system. So when you're thinking of a follow-up technique for people, and you're thinking of, okay, how can I create more urgency? To create more urgency, you're not calling someone and saying, hey, I'm being urgent with you. You need to enroll. This is urgent for you to enroll right now. That's not what creating urgency is. But what creating urgency is saying, hey, Ty, I talked to you about Isagenix about 3 months ago, but we've got a girl, Leslie Ford, who's coming in the system. She wants to build this business big. Because I talked to you before her, I'll enroll you right now and put her in right after you, and you're going to benefit from everything she does from this point forward. Do you want to get started? Do you want to benefit from this? And I'm telling you what, you send that voice memo to someone and you're going to see a lot more enrollment. So pro tip, use that technique, because it will create that urgency, again, without being like I'm being urgent. It'll create that urgency, and it will cause the people who are sitting on the fence to say, okay, I'm ready to get started. So who else wants to share? Ellen Kimball, let's hear from you, and then we'll go to Jennifer Higgins afterwards. Oh, let me unmute you, Ellen. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. I think we got you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it was a fabulous weekend. First, I want to just start. One of my teammates who is new, Chris Spillman, who's not on this call right now, but this was his first time. And afterwards, I talked to him on the phone on his way home, and he said he goes, this was so good. He said, you know, it's not that I didn't believe you. And it's not that I haven't had a great transformation. He's released 31 pounds already. But he said there was something about being there and meeting Patty and Herbie and seeing these other people who've had this success, and they are real people just like me. And he's like, and I talked to them and it was so good. He goes, I just feel so good about this right now. And he said, I'm so ready to build. So I want to say it again. We can't say it enough. For the people who haven't been, events change your experience. It's more than just going to a hotel and listening to somebody. It's a whole full picture of something that will change the way that you look at things. Okay, so just to dovetail on what a couple people said, because that whole thing about the decisions, that was really huge. And he said three things. He said decisions, commitment, and agreement for that team build. So that was one of the things that I had to take away. Also, there was a fantastic fellow who shared. He reverse engineered the comp plan. His name was Anil. He's an Indian man, East Indian. And his enrolling sponsor was 19 years old at the time. He's a friend of the Cepedas. He went to a networking event. I went and spoke with him because he did it scared. He said, he's like, I went there were all these people who were professional networkers. And he said, and I just dressed up nicely and I went because I thought I might meet somebody. And he's like, I was so scared to talk to that guy because he was this older professional guy, but he did it. And this guy gets it. So I just felt like that whole thing of doing it scared was really, really important. And I'm not going to copy what other people said because they already said it, but I want to say this one last thing. Danielle shared this morning. And one of the things she shared is that a lot of people have this mindset that they're waiting for the Lord to do something. They're waiting to hear from the Lord to get a confirmation or whatever. And she said, you're thinking about it in the wrong way. God is waiting for you. And really, it's true. You can look at anything he asks people to do in scripture, and he waits for them to take a step. In James, it says, draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. When you take that step of action, he's going to meet you. So instead of waiting on the Lord, he's waiting for you, and then he's going to meet you full bore. So that's all I'm going to share right now.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Okay, we're going to close this out with Jennifer Higgins. We want to respect your time tonight. Jen, if you want to unmute your line, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, am I unmuted?
You are.
Okay, good. Well, I have been to several Herb and Patty Super Saturdays, but this one really, it was different. It was a little bit smaller, so it was a little more intimate, and Herb and Patty just seemed even more approachable and real than ever before. So I thought that was really neat. There's only about 250, maybe 300 people there, so we really heard their hearts. They were walking up and down the aisles, and it just speaks so much to how they love this team and why the community of this team is so wonderful. It is absolutely because of James and Audrey too, but you all have learned from them. So it's just, it is top down, and that is just a beautiful thing to see. So the whole spirit of, I was only there yesterday, so I missed the good part of today, but just very approachable. And they don't have to do that for our team. That's the other thing. They could be lying on the beaches of the world and not take the time and the effort and the details that have to go into that. So that just speaks to my heart that they're still willing to do that for us. But my takeaways were that this is a talking business. They said, you have to get out and talk to people. We can't hide behind our phones and behind our screens. We have to connect. So that was important. Nothing happens if we do not open our mouths. So that was speaking to me and hopefully to some of the rest of you on the call. They also really brought into perspective the beauty of our comp plan, how we just have two teams, but also that everybody is important on your team, no matter how many levels deep, no matter who enrolled them. And that just also speaks to the fact that our comp plan creates community. It's not a competition. It is a community all building together. And the other thing that brought that home is that Herb and Patty are the #1 income earners in the company. They started on an inside crevice. So none of us should ever think we're in the wrong spot or we can't do this because we were put in the wrong place. Everybody has an equal opportunity with this comp plan. And that should just give all of us great hope that anybody can do it. We just have to put our nose down and open our mouths.
Oh,
so those are my takeaways.
Thank you. And you know what? You're so right. I know James and I was the last person that Herb and Patty enrolled, and they maxed out that leg. And so I started out and I had to build 2 full teams totally on my own. James, same thing. And so, you know what's very interesting about that whole concept? Probably I would say a lot of the most successful people all started on an inside leg. And you are so grateful for every single point that flows up. And it's just so powerful. So I know, James, you want to say something.
Chelsea, did you want to say one thing real quick? Did you raise your hand? Okay, yeah, I unmuted you. Go ahead.
Hey, really quickly, I just wanted to say something about today. That's why I said I'll come back around if we have the time for it really quick. But we had an opportunity today, you guys, to dedicate our businesses. And that's something that I didn't know anything about. And it was so powerful, you guys. The spirit and the feel in the room was incredible. I was in tears, sitting in the back, you guys, writing out this dedication of my business to the Lord. And you guys, I put my debit card, my Isagenix debit card in a baggie with this letter. I was prayed over and my business was dedicated. And I just wanted you guys to understand that this business, this company, this team, the Lord has such a touch on what we have here. From the products, they are all from the Lord. There is nothing man-made to do with their products. From the company, Rob, who is over Herb and Patty's team, he told us that a few weeks ago, he went to corporate and he prayed over the entire business and the company, and just anointed the company. And I just want you guys to just understand, really, like God has a touch. If you ever wonder, am I supposed to be here? Am I not? Do you want me here, Lord? Like, there is something really, really special that, yeah, we can build a business, but we don't get to take this business to heaven with us. But God is using this as a vehicle to not just find riches and wealth. He's using this to bring people. That's why you experience an entirely different atmosphere when you walk into the room with people of Isagenix. And so I just wanted to share that there's something very special here. Don't sell yourself short on what we have here.
Oh, Chels, thank you for ending that on such an amazing, incredible note. So guys, I don't know about you, but
did you find some value? Comment in the chats. Thank these guys for sharing their nuggets and their takeaways. If you found value in what it was they shared this weekend, like Chelsea was saying, we have the most amazing community. What everybody was sharing was absolutely, you could take one of those things that each person shared and take that and fly through the next, 45 days of our 90-day action plan with so much clarity and so much direction. Did you have anything you want to say?
Yeah. So guys, they talked about, and Ellen really shared so heartfelt how getting to events are everything. And you heard Chelsea opening it up and saying, you could hear the hope and the passion in their voices, but like the people who weren't in that room aren't going to know fully because their selves weren't embodied in that room. And so in January, Isagenix does a New Year's kickoff event. In January, I think it's January
22nd through the 25th.
22nd through the 25th, where it's in Phoenix, Arizona. And you guys, these events are everything. They're just everything. They're everything for the business. They're everything for community. They're everything for growing your hope and your belief. And so, if you don't stay plugged in, your light begins to get dim. And so getting yourself to events are what causes your light to continue to illuminate and for the vision of why it is that you're building Isagenix and you're growing this. And I know Rhymes, who's in the UK, went to a Super Saturday. And next week we'll have to hear your takeaways from that, because I'm looking at you, I'm like, oh, I know you were just at the Super Saturday too. So we'll have to hear from her too. Like, she's staying plugged in London, you guys. She's dedicated to her vision and the heart for what God has put inside of her heart to see this happen. So we really want to invite you to do what you need to do to get yourself in that room. Go into your back office, take a leap of faith, buy your New Year's kickoff tickets, come. We're going to have another team night like we did at Celebration when we had our all white out party. We're going to have time together to communicate, to be, touching and loving and hugging and being in connection. So we want to see you there. Make the decision. Who was it? Chelsea said that. She said, make the decision. Successful people make the decision. Unsuccessful people don't. Get off this call tonight and make the decision and get yourself on a plane or on a bus or in a car to get yourself to NYKO.
And between now and then, be just like Jennifer was saying, this is a talking business, right? This is a talking business. Who can we share this gift with? Who can we help? Who can we reach out and serve? How can we refine ourselves? You guys, we have the gift. We have the gold. Thank you so much, everybody who shared. We are going to be on this call same time next week. We love you all. Reach out to any of us, any Otter, myself, or anybody on the team if you need help, if you need encouragement, if you need support, if you want to practice the comp plan, if you want to, do any mock training. Guys, you have all of the resources right at your fingertips right here. And we are so, so excited for where Freedom Living Team is going at the end of 2019, but boy, in 2020, we are going to the moon. So We love you guys so much. We'll see you on this call next week. See you guys.